YouTube, welcome back. It is the 7th. It is opening day of MLB season. I could not be more excited. My Brewers are the first game of the MLB season. I'm very, very excited about that. They're playing at Wrigley Field. What better way to start the MLB season than the Brewers Cubs? Corbin Burns on the mound. Yeah, it just doesn't get much better than this, guys. I did give out futures plays yesterday, so I didn't have a YouTube video, but I will have two today. I will try to get mostly two plays out to you guys. Usually just depends on the slate. So, um, just a heads up, making sure that you guys have the notification bell on, making sure that you guys know that maybe on Wednesdays when the slate moves up, because travel day is Wednesday night to Thursday, starting new series. The videos have to be out earlier. I'm going to have them up and out earlier on Wednesdays because most games are at noon to 2 Central Time. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more sporadic with when I put out plays and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm super excited again. Appreciate all you guys, all the new subscribers coming in. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. And I can't wait for MLB, man. This is my favorite season. NFL is my most profitable, but MLB is definitely my favorite. Obviously, I tell you guys, I do still coach college baseball right now. I'm still working, still watching a lot of baseball games, college, MLB. I just love it. It's this time of the year, and there's nothing better than some summertime baseball. And so, yeah, we're going to have two plays today. First one's going to be a little bit weird, okay? So I'm going with Tyler Mahle. Okay, he's a Cincinnati Reds pitcher. And I've seen 140 for his 4.5 a lot of places. But I also like the 5.5. So if you want to do half unit on each, I get that. I put like a 0.75 on the 4.5 and then half unit on the 5.5. It's completely up to you guys how you do it. I like both numbers though. I think both numbers give us pretty good odds here. Let's get into a little bit of the numbers. He is facing the Atlanta Braves today on the road. And I keep calling him Trevor. I don't know why, because Trevor is another guy I'll be talking about today a little bit later. Tyler Mahle, he looked absolutely fantastic in spring training. 14 strikeouts, 10 2/3 innings pitched, and only 4 walks. That's really the biggest thing for Mahle is being able to keep the ball in the strike zone and not give away free passes. His stuff is elite. He's got a great slider. Spin rate is way up there on that slider. We really don't see too many guys barrel up that pitch. And that's really his out pitch, or it has been his last 2 years. Last year on the road, he was absolutely elite. On the road, he had a 2.30 ERA, 112 strikeouts, and 102 innings. When he was at home, he actually had a 5.63 ERA. Obviously, Great American Ballpark is very hitter friendly. Tyler Mahle is a fly ball guy more than ground ball. And now we're facing a Braves team here, right? We lost Freddie Freeman, replaced him with Matt Olson. Not really much of a different offense than last year. Braves can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's something they've been able to do these last few years. Their ballpark does play a little bit small, but they do have a lot of strikeouts in there. I do really like how Tyler Mahle is very, very good against lefties. He is an opposite split guy. Obviously, it's because he does have a split and a very good changeup here. And that's obviously really going to help you against the lefties because the breaking ball is going to move away from you. So top 3 guys in the order, obviously, Eddie Rosario, Albies, and Matt Olson. Not huge strikeout guys. So that's not bad. Obviously, I would like early strikeouts. But lefties only bat 198 against Tyler Mahle, or at least they did last season. In 93 innings pitched, 93 innings, 115 strikeouts against lefties. So righties do hit them a little bit better. But when we go into it, going up against the middle of this lineup, where I'm looking at the projected lineup, we're seeing Austin Riley, Ozuna, Alex Dickerson, Duvall, Swanson, and d'Arnaud. Looking into those guys, we look at that. Riley, 165 Ks last year. Ozuna, 119. Dickerson, 62 and only 249 at bats. 157 and 161 for Duvall and Swanson, respectively. And when we're on the road here, looking into exact numbers here for him, for Tyler Mahle, away versus righties, we're still getting a 25% K rate on the road versus righties. Extremely low whip. Even his xFIP and FIP is very, very low as well. All of the numbers on the road is much, much better, obviously. And let's just get into the strikeout numbers here for Ozuna. Ozuna, 24% strikeout rate versus righties. Riley, 28. Dickerson, 25. Duvall, 31. Darno is still up there too in the high 20s as well. So a lot of swing and miss opportunities here for Tyler Mahle. I think that his outs is also a great spot too to look. I think that Tyler Mahle is going to have a breakout season this year. He did look very good last year, but obviously towards the end, started getting into more contact. But if you look at last year, in his March, April, he had a 35% K rate. Obviously, when you think about it, early in the season, the pitcher does have a huge advantage. Obviously, with spring training, it does get a nice opportunity to hit outside, but usually the pitcher has the advantage earlier on in the season. And Tyler Mahle, like I said, last year, in his first month, March to April here, he was striking out 35% of guys. Obviously, that number went down, popped back up, went down, popped back up. With a guy like him who does have these reverse splits, it's very nice that the guys that do most of their damage are the left-handed bats, where he is going to be usually a little bit better against them with those reverse splits in the off-speed stuff that he does have. So very, very nice. I like this spot. Like I said, it depends on what book you're at. I'm seeing minus 140 places. I'm seeing over 5.5 at plus 110 places. My book kind of gives me the option of taking over 5, over 6, whatever, and just adding up from there. So I do like that option. So I will sprinkle on those a little bit. But yeah, really, really like him today. I think the Reds actually are a little bit under the radar here. Early on in the season, obviously, with them losing all these big guys to free agency or in trades. But one other thing I did want to talk about was his fastball, 94. It's going up there. It's gone up every single season. 86 mile an hour versus that changeup or the cutter. And then obviously his changeup is probably his best out pitch here. So really good stuff there, like Mahle. Let's go to play number 2, and I am going to an over. So if you guys could in here, please drop a like. I appreciate it. And we're going to keep on rolling here. We're going into the Mets Nationals first 5, over 5 runs, minus 110. We have a matchup between Mr. McGill and Mr. Patrick Corbin here. This is in Nationals Park. And let's kind of get into a little bit of Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin struggled last year at home, giving up a 3.12 batting average. At home last season, 6.27 ERA. Obviously, Nationals Park does play a little bit small as well. Also, extremely, extremely tough against lefties, but against righties, he is very hittable. 228 batting average against lefties, 302 against righties. Looking here at the Mets projected starting lineup, we're getting Brandon Nimmo, obviously, from the left side. We have Marte, Lindor, Pete Alonso, Mark Canha from the Athletics, who obviously hits the ball very hard, very well, had a lot of home runs last year. Eduardo Escobar, switch hitter. McNeil's a left side guy. McCann, power from the right side. That's the projected lineup, obviously. Could be different. But a lot of right-handed bats in there. I love that. And we're actually facing a guy in Mr. McGill over here from the Mets, who is the exact opposite. Obviously, as a right-handed guy, you expect him to be a little bit better against righties. Mahle's a little bit different, obviously, because he has the reverse splits. But against lefties, McGill is absolutely terrible. There's really no other way around it. 315 batting average against lefties, 200 against righties. He gets absolutely shelled against lefties. If we just look at home against lefties last year, 349. Away against lefties, 278. A lot of home runs in there. 13 home runs in only about 38 innings. So does give up a lot of pop. This is not a place you want to be able to do that, right? If we're looking at this Washington Nationals starting lineup, we have a lefty and Cesar Hernandez, our switch guy. Juan Soto, probably one of the best lefty hitters in the league. Nelson Cruz obviously hits everybody pretty well. Josh Bell, switch hitter. Ruiz, lefty. So all these top guys in their lineup, all of their power is left-handed bats. Very, very concerning for this young starter. I believe this is his second year, where we're going to probably have some issues here, right? Looking at McGill as well, continually, obviously, like most pitchers, gets worse every time through the lineup. First time through the lineup, 3.86 ERA. 233 batting average against, 264 second time through, and 300 against him third time through the order. And when we look at Corbin, it's the exact same thing. 4.64 ERA, 5.07, 9.38. So a 274, 261, 347 batting average against him. It's going to be a struggle here. I think that we're going to see a lot of runs in this game, or at least early on through these starters, because the size that they struggle with, they're going to be loaded up against them today. Obviously, being able to match up lefties against McGill and having Juan Soto in that lineup is very, very scary. And obviously, when we go with Corbin, being able to throw a Pete Alonso at you, Lindor from the right side, Eduardo Escobar, McCann. There's a lot of strong right-handed bats in that lineup too. I do see a lot of those pop guys having strikeouts and stuff, but that doesn't really matter for me here when the ball can leave the ballpark in an instant against these guys who tend to leave the ball up and the ball leaves the ballpark. So I think this gives us a very good line. I bet you if this was like mid-season, this would be like 5.5, 6. Obviously, early on in the season, they expect the pitchers to have the advantage. But when you have a guy, both these guys are not overpowering guys. So I think that obviously spring training is going to really, really help these guys come through. So Mets Nationals first 5 over 5 runs. I'm going to only have one unit on most of these opening day things. And Tyler Mahle over 4.5 Ks or 5.5, whatever you have. That is going to be one unit play here as well. So thank you guys so much. I'll have some more baseball out for you guys tomorrow. So excited for the season to start, and hoping to start out with a nice little sweep here. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Best of luck and happy opening day.